fans of X and Pearl, get ready. The trilogy is about to be complete. So yeah, if you're a fan of what we've seen so far out of this trilogy in the first installment X, the prequel Pearl, I think you're going to be rather excited to hear that the third entry we've all heard so much about in such a short time frame too, considering both of those films dropped within a year of each other. I think they were filmed simultaneously, which makes this thing extra cool in my book. But now we're going to finally be able to complete this trilogy, which in my estimation has been really stand out thus far. And I'm really looking to see what we do with a sequel to X, now that we've had the prequel to X. A very interesting way to do this trilogy in the way they released it. So far, I think both entries have been very their own thing, but still definitely within the confines of this greater story. So I can't wait to see how it all ends. Can't wait to see this last entry. And we've got big news on that. Big news in casting and a little other news. So let's go ahead and dig into it here. This coming to us courtesy of The Hollywood Reporter. Their headline, X sequel MaXXXine sets cast with Elizabeth Debicki, Lily Collins. So jumping in here, we have a picture or pictures here of our new cast, the new cast joining MaXXXine here. MaXXXine, the third film in the X horror series, has set the cast that will join the franchise star Mia Goth in the Ty West feature. Kind of your two constants thus far in this franchise. I think that would be Mia Goth and Ty West. So interesting to see those two working together another time. Like I said, the results thus far for me have been superb. So Elizabeth Debicki, Moses Sumney, Michelle Monaghan, Bobby Cannavale. I'm sorry if I'm awful with some of these names I may have not heard of, but like when it comes to names, I'm a fucking moron. So you'll have to give me a little leeway here. Lily Collins, halsey, Giancarlo Esposito, Kevin Bacon. Interesting to see Kevin Bacon doing a lot of A24 stuff and a lot of independent stuff, maybe I should say, here recently, especially with the horror genre. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of how safe of a film They/Them was, it was a pretty decent overall little flick. And I thought he was pretty decent in that too. So it was kind of cool to see Kevin Bacon going back to his horror roots that he's from off and on throughout his career. So yeah, that ought to be interesting as well. And it says that they are set to start shooting this month in LA. So that's really good to see. Kind of digging a little bit more into this article, it says MaXXXine will take place after the events of X, which we already kind of had an idea that's how it was going to work. We kind of got the idea set up for a trilogy, immediately got a prequel, sequel being the next thing. Like I said, once again, I think it's kind of cool how they set this one up. But I'll dig more into the article here. Of course, following Mia Goth's MaXXXine as the sole survivor of the farmhouse massacre, who continues her journey toward fame as she set out to make it as an actress in 1980s Los Angeles. Another cool thing I like about this is like it's like, whereas Pearl was set way back, I think in the 1910s or 20s, if I'm not mistaken. I think X was in the 70s. Now we're going to see the 80s, and it's really cool to me just seeing these different these different eras kind of represented in film, especially in one coherent story, one trilogy, especially where the tones have been thus far. Even though we're kind of tackling the same material, the tones have been very different. There was a big tonal shift, I thought, between X and Pearl, and I kind of expect to see that happen again in some way going into MaXXXine. So once again, I really like the fact that all these movies can kind of stand by themselves, at least thus far, and also make up an incredible trilogy. I think that's going to be the overall, if they nail this one anyway, I think that's going to be one of the things they can definitely write home about, so to speak. According to sources, it will deal with the dangerous world of underground filmmaking. Kind of saw that one coming. Esposito plays an agent for adult film and Z-list movie actors, while Debicki is a film director. Monaghan and Conneville are LAPD detectives, while Bacon is a private detective. West is writing and directing the sequel. And thank goodness for that, too, man, because like I said, I think other than Mia Goth's standout performances, I think, in this trilogy thus far, I'm really glad they've had the same director behind all of this so far. And even though, given that these are stories, like I mentioned earlier, that can kind of be told separately and looked at separately, they overall have that coherence. So I think maybe that a lot of that is credit to not just having Mia Goth there, but also having Ty West there as well. So just really good news in my book, and a little bit of extra news there about the plot and about some of the roles, not just the characters, not just the actors that are here, but kind of digging into some of their roles in the movie as well. So let me know what you all think down below in the comment section. Are you excited for this film? Are you a big fan of what they've done so far? Are you not? Let me know how you feel about this this trilogy and this film, the news in particular, down below in the comment section. While you're there, check the description section. A couple of links there to follow me on Twitter, support the channel, things of that nature. If any of that seems interesting, that's where you can find that. And also, before we leave from one another, leave a like if you've enjoyed the video thus far. Subscribe and turn on notifications, all that YouTube jazz. Much appreciated. And yeah, with that said, I'm Bran, and this has been the Bloody Breakdown on MaXXXine.